Welcome to the Otherwise Guys, boy Cool Shakur. Right now I'm here with,
Jazmin Cortina.
how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Um, had to bring you on. You
Yes.
know, you in a different lane. You a model,
Yes, I am.
and I never interviewed a model yet. So I said, let me go ahead and chop it up with
Well,
one.
I'm glad I'm your first one. I feel special.
Yeah. So how did you get into it?
Well, I had to apply to an agency, and it was primarily in Jacksonville. So most of the time, your first agency that you're going to apply to, it may not be the most professional one, but I was really grateful for the experience, signed the contracts, and I was doing like a lot of fashion show work. So it was definitely a lot of walking before taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Because before I started doing that, I just started taking pictures with random photographers and stuff. And I'm like, all right, it's not really getting me anywhere. Didn't really know how the business was going to get. But the more free work that you get, the better. Because, you have to make a reputation for yourself. You got to make sure that, you're working with good people. And it's the vice versa, really. They want to make sure they're working with a good model, one that shows up on time, one that can get the content done in a certain amount of hours. So, yeah, that's how I started. Very small start.
Did you like reach out to the companies?
I
Or
did,
they?
and I just found a couple of girls on Instagram and kept, asking them. And I feel like I hate when I say this because whenever somebody asks me, "Oh, how did you get started? I'm trying to get in the game," and I'm like, "Man, it's still a tough game out there. I don't even know how to answer the question because you really could just make your own business yourself. You don't really even have to have like an agency. It just kind of helps you get to bigger places, to different areas and stuff. And sometimes, like, I'll just be sitting in a public place and somebody will come up to me with a business card saying, "Hey, like, I can get you paid, I can get you this and that." And it's really up to you to take the opportunity at hand. So you just got to do your research. Always, always, always ask around, do your research before you start working with anybody.
So are you big on like putting together pieces like clothes and everything, or is it just the pictures and the nice settings?
I enjoy like putting like the looks together. I would prefer the person already have the theme at hand, so I won't have to rush to buy an outfit and figure out what kind of theme it's gonna be, and it just makes it a little bit more organized when it's already set up. But I do enjoy putting it together myself. If somebody gives me a task, say, okay, I want a 70s look. All right, boom, like I got it. And then by the time I get there, they're like, this was perfect. You put it so well together. And I'm like, I'm glad we could, do this together and collab. That's how it should be sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I enjoy that part.
What was the last project you did as far as a photo shoot?
Last project I did. Oh, that's a tough question because I started getting a little thicker. So I started avoiding some work because I was trying to stay, confident in my body and my skin. But I started working for African handbags. I think her name is, I hate to mess it up, but Hopes Keeps. it's also an African black owned luxury bag, and she just had me pull up and there were several other girls there and we just got it done, and it was a good experience too. You meet a lot of good people whenever you do stuff like that, but that was the last time I had worked with somebody. I haven't posted the pictures yet, but it's when I was skinnier. So
Uh-oh.
yeah,
So I'm
so
getting a
that's
little thicker.
why yeah, so that's why I didn't like post it or anything. But as a woman, you have to kind of accept your body and your womanhood whenever you just start getting older. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now at this moment.
Does it change your perspective though? Like, getting older in the business, does it change your perspective on, maybe I don't want to do this music video, you know what I mean?
It does, because you just got to have confidence either way, whether you want to do something. If you really want to do something, if you love to do something, you shouldn't let things get in the way of that. You should never let anything limit yourself. And the one thing I have been focusing on is my health and my mental health. Last February, I got diagnosed with a liver disease, and it's autoimmune. So it just changes my body, and I had been on like certain medications that caused different side effects to make me look different. So it just was a lot going on all at once. So I had to be like, oh, this is what it feels like when someone, whether they're gaining weight because they have a health issue or they're getting pregnant or they're just growing as a woman, it really turns you around to make you look at other women and be like, wow, like no matter what you look like, you're beautiful, because I get what it feels like to look like A and then look like B the next, so.
How was that, like, how did that affect you mentally going through that? Finding out you got the diagnosis and then, like, being in this industry where like all eyes on you, your look is everything, and then you have to like kind of sit down for a minute to recover and
Man, mentally, it was tough because I would look in the mirror and I'm like, I don't even know who that is. Sometimes I would just kind of jump and be like, who is that? Oh, that's just me.
yeah.
So, and then also mentally what affected me is whenever I would go out in public and nobody would recognize me. And so I would be hesitant to speak. But then when I spoke and they would be like, oh my God, it's Cortina. And I'm like, yeah, girl, I just been getting to the yams. That's my excuse.
Yeah.
So I don't have to go in depth of, what it is and what it's not right now. But sometimes I will open up about my health. But yeah, it definitely affected me mentally. Because people can be rude. They can be so rude online, in person. My
Not
family,
knowing what you're going through.
my family was like, all right, we just finna get thick with Jazmin. Like,
Yeah.
they'll say stuff like that, but they just give me a lot of tough love. So I just really kind of shrug it off and just accept it.
But you should be used to it though, because like models, they saying like if you skinny, you too skinny to be a model, then they got the
Right.
you know what I mean?
Everybody
It's like it's
belongs
always,
somewhere.
yeah.
So that's why I have just a hard time figuring out where I belong in the modeling group. As we was like discussing earlier, you know, there's a certain look for New York. There's a certain look for Florida. So you just really got to pick where you think you belong and where your heart is too. You could just get like a flat out no. Like you just walk across someone and they watch you walk and they're like, next.
Yeah.
So you really got to have some tough skin. And you also have to have a lot of confidence no matter what.
So what keeps you going?
What keeps me going? My friends, they keep me going because I'll show them my work and I'll show them my dances. And most of my friends, like, they don't get the opportunity to do that kind of stuff, whether it's because, financially they can't do it or they have children or something like that. Something's blocking them from doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So because I inspire them and they love it so much, it really, really keeps me going.
Yeah.
Their feedback, so.
And yeah, speaking of dancing, you can dance too.
Yes, I be moving.
Yeah.
I be moving my little honey buns.
What type of dance do you partake in?
So I do heels and stiletto dance classes. It's very, very challenging. And the reason why I say that is because I had recently got my first injury. I had injured my toe on one of my other last performances. And, I had to take a little break. And that kind of sucks because dance was like an outlet for me. So if I can't move my body or get with the flow of it, it really kind of diminishes me a bit. So dance has definitely helped me get out there. Dance is life.
Yeah, you don't do like African dance, hip hop,
You know what? I'm trying to get more into African dances because the song that I had showed you, the So Different one, that gives me more of like a reggae vibe to it. I don't know what you were thinking whenever you heard it, but that definitely kind of wanted me to move almost like in a reggae form. So I really want to get more into that. I've been trying to go to those reggae events, Rum N Jerk. I have not been yet.
Yeah.
But I want to go because
Get inspired.
because the dancers they be all out there. They just how Caribbeans be dancing. So
So what is like the heels and stiletto? Like what type of dance is that though? Like is it more salsa? Like what?
well, it
type
can
of-
be soft and subtle, but it's more sensual. Definitely sensual for the empowerment of women. A lot of people will frown upon it because, like they think that you're like an exotic dancer or like
Yeah.
a stripper or something. Like, no, not that. Just I'm comfortable in my skin and I want other women to be comfortable in their skin. So, hey, like you can do this too. But it is, you don't have to be like flexible. You don't have to be perfect at it. Like I pay for these dance classes, and they're not much. But the more I do them, the better I get at it. So.
Yeah. So it's not no stripper pole in there, and it's just what I
No.
mean. So why they give y'all that? Oh, you know what I mean?
But if a stripper wanted to go to that class and incorporate it into her performances, she could.
Gotcha.
But like I said, a lot of people do not like that. I feel like I get some hate on it sometimes too. Like, oh my gosh, who does she think she is rolling around like that on the floor?
What's the like the last comment you was like almost about to like reply back to and go off on somebody? What did they say?
Well, I've never actually had that happen before.
Okay.
But if I did, I'm really big on kill people with kindness. May God bless you. Maybe your man doesn't approve of this, and maybe you feel like because you had never tried it before, you just don't like it. So, and that's okay. But may God bless you.
Yeah, you killing with kindness for real.
Yeah, she got to. The people hate that.
So you sing too.
I do. I'm laying all out on the table. I got a lot of cars around here, so.
So which one comes first, singing, dancing, or fashion?
That is a tough one. That's a tough
Like
one.
you gotta put them
'Cause
in
I
order
love them
too.
all.
No, you gotta put them in order.
Which comes first? Well, the one I have been trying to be really consistent on for my health, that is dancing. Like, I know that I'm not going to be the most perfect dancer. I'm always trying to perfect everything that I do. But I think that's the one that's the goal as for right now. I really don't like going to the gym. Not saying that I won't get a gym membership anytime soon here, but it's just an easier form of me working out and me getting back to my health and staying fit. So that's the goal right now. Staying fit, looking good, keeping up with my health.
Gotcha. So when did you find out that you could sing?
I could sing when I was in that church, boy. I grew up in a church, so I was kind of forced upon it. Like,
But
you
you
know,
can't get like, you can't just go to church and be like, yeah, go up there. Like you gotta have a voice for that.
yeah. And once they found out I had a voice and nobody else wanted to sing, and they was like, "All right, Jazz, go ahead and go up there and do your thing." And I'm like, so shy and so timid. I was always like that, just very shy. But I soon began to break out of that. I'm actually wanting to go back to church to be a part of like a praise team, because I just find it so soulful, and it makes me happy. It makes me happy to see other people vulnerable and worship God too. So yes, that's how I started. Yep, in the church. Yeah.
Are you like real deep in like the spiritual?
I'd say it's hand in hand. I was literally just talking to myself about this in the car, because my pastor, he had passed away like during COVID seasons and stuff. So it really kind of took away a lot. Like, and then you started finding out things a little bit more. Like as you get older, growing up in the church, you realize like who slept with who? Oh my God. So a lot of dark things start coming out, and then it just makes you not want to be a part of the church. But I would say as a person, like, do I go to church like every Sunday? No, but I used to. Do I pray? Every chance I get, whether it's in the car, at work, but spiritually, do I practice, certain things like with crystals and stuff? I buy crystals. I think they're very beautiful elements that come straight out the ground, and God created whatever's in the ground. So I don't frown upon it. I don't worship any crystals or do like any dark shadow work, but
Yeah.
I'm open to learn different things and stuff and not frown upon them.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
So who you listening to right now, like music wise? I mean, I ain't gonna
Oh,
tell I ain't gonna tell the people who you was listening to anyway here, but
Oh man. Well, I know you heard my little song earlier when we was doing the little bloopers. I got bricks on me. Sometimes I'm really big in throwbacks because it puts me in a good space. It reminds me of good memories. So a lot of R&B. I do listen to like just a lot of soft songs too. Songs that could possibly test my vocal ranges. I like to sing to them or harmonize to them because it just makes me feel good when I do it. I don't really listen to a lot of trap or rap, a lot of female rappers. Every once in a while, whenever I'm with my friends and I want to get ignorant and stuff, but it's not my biggest thing. But if you ask me who my favorite artist was, I literally have several. So
who?
Ariana Grande, and I'm gonna say because she's just so sweet and so gentle, and she comes straight from the heart. Everything is emotional for her, and she's like the same zodiac sign as me. So
I think I heard one song from her like recently, and I didn't even know like that. Like it was like a fire song. I'm trying to find it. It's called
please do. I love her
Ocean
so much.
Eyes. Oh no, that's Billie
That's
Eilish.
Billie.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
I've listened to her too. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
There's certain seasons where I'll listen to different artists, and I won't stay consistent with them. But I do appreciate music in all aspects. Sometimes I listen to jazz music. I love jazz music. I love me some Maxwell. Some old songs, baby making music.
Yeah.
Catch me at Jazzy's on Throwback Thursdays.
Oh shit.
Because that's exactly why I go in there for the throwbacks. So.
Yeah. So where you from?
Well, that's a little bit of a complicated question because I grew up in a military family, so we moved around a lot. I do remember that I was born in Oklahoma City. Yep.
What it was Navy, Army?
Both my parents met in the Navy.
Okay.
So you can call me a lucky swimmer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, that blue. So what this is like a segment I use. It's called Ghetto Stories. So you have to share like a story that happened to you. It can be something funny, crazy, like just whatever come to your mind.
A ghetto story. Well, this one not too ghetto, but yesterday I had met a homeless man. I didn't know he was a homeless man until, certain clues was giving me like, okay, I see that sign that's folded up in your pocket. But I went to go get something to eat at this curry restaurant, and I wanted to sit outside to get some, natural vitamin D. And he was kind of crossing the street a little bit, and I knew he was gonna come up to me because it's bound to happen. But he was like, "I feel like I've met you before, but you look just like this girl I was talking to yesterday, but I don't think you're her." And I was like, "Really?" I heard I have a doppelganger or a twin around here. I get that all the time, so it's fine. And then he came back around again, and he was just like, he just kept talking to me and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, hopefully he don't say nothing too crazy, but he was actually very, very nice. And I don't treat like homeless people like any kind of way because, that could be me. Or in the next couple of weeks, he could just out of nowhere get bank and become a millionaire.
Yeah.
So I think what was ghetto about it's just the fact that he asked me if I was married. And I get that question all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't got no ring on my finger. Or if I have kids or something like that, I get that question a lot too. But yeah, and I was working on some art, and I had it, and I was kind of randomly talking to him, and I showed him it, and it was a nude portrait.
Whoa. So you was drawing a homeless man? You was like picturing him nude, or this was something else?
No, it was a nude portrait of me.
Oh.
But I felt okay with showing him because he was really cool. His name was Caleb, but he said he go by Diamond. He had a lot of diamonds on his neck, and I was like, I don't know if it was a sign or not, but I was literally making a song about diamonds.
Yeah.
And he had him tatted on his neck, and I was like, diamond in the rough. Never know.
So you do like nude photography too, like?
Yeah, I can't really freehand it, so I have to like take a picture.
Okay.
And then go off of that. So, yeah, I'm still perfecting on my art too.
So you draw or you paint? Which one?
I draw. I wish I could paint. I need to get more active into that because I feel like I could do it if I tried, but I never really tried it. So.
What's your most recent drawing besides the
one I showed him yesterday?
Yeah.
There's this one where it's very colorful. It was also done in pencil, but it's of a girl with like lime green hair. I wish I would have brought it with me. Oh my gosh. Lime green hair with sunglasses on like this and flowers on half of her face. Because for some reason I have a very hard time with doing things symmetrically, like making everything equal. So I just did half and half. But yeah, that was one of my recent drawings. And then another one dedicated to my autoimmune disease. It has me like turned around. It's not so much of a nude portrait since the boobs aren't showing, but it has me turned around, almost like reaching for something against the wall, like to turn like a light on. And in the back of it, put like a transparent liver with like a sign, a survivor sign.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Dang.
Love that piece.
Do you go to like museums a lot to get inspired?
I want to get more into that. I have not been to a lot of museums in Jacksonville, maybe one or two, but need to get into that.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Probably put one of the pictures up for sale, you know what I mean?
I know. I mean, it's bound to happen. Somebody gonna have to recognize what I'm doing out here. So,
yeah.
Whether it's for money purposes or not, sometimes money don't really make me happy because it don't fix everything. But for other people to see my creativity and appreciate it, I love that.
So what is this? Like, is it something about yourself that nobody knows? Because, goddamn, you do so much. Like, what is it? What else do you do? That's the best way to ask.
What's my hidden talent? Well,
yeah, like, what else
I can roll my stomach like this.
Oh, so you belly dance, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if I took a belly dancing class and had a couple of them, I think that's maybe something I could master as well.
Yeah.
I know a couple of belly dancers out there as friends, so I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know. I feel like I'm very good at impersonating other people.
So you can act.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
You took the words right out my mouth. I feel like I'm very capable to act because I'm just a character in general.
Have you been in any like short film or anything?
Actually, as an extra, yeah.
Mm.
It was fun. It was at this club. It was like a big fight scene.
What was the project? What's the name of the project? Do you remember? Or?
It was with Cast Films.
Okay.
So they normally do a lot of their movies in the Jacksonville theaters and stuff. And Broadway Louie, I don't know if you've heard of him or not, but he was the one to put me in on it. And it was at Club Haven. And it was so funny because, like, when people fake fight, they just, like, fall out on the floor.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, he didn't even punch him like that. He, like, flat out on the floor, bro.
Yeah.
What made it even funnier was because, like, he wasn't a skinny dude. He was, like, a very oversized, large dude. And he just
Shit.
plump.
That's crazy. Well,
Gotta love the teddy bears.
How did the movie turn out?
I actually haven't seen it yet, so I feel like it's on the way. You know, so I would definitely love to go see it for sure. I love movies. I am a movie fanatic. I love superhero movies.
Okay. Why superhero movies?
Because I feel like each superhero that I like, it describes me and my story in a certain way, like what I'm going through as far as my autoimmune disease.
So you big on like who's your character? Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel?
Well, if we're talking about women, I don't think there's a lot of women superheroes out there, but Catwoman, I think she's like right in the center. She's in the middle because she steals jewelry and stuff.
Yeah, she's an anti-hero.
Yeah, but I recently actually made a post about Catwoman. It just was a couple of selfies with me in this hairstyle in the sunlight, and there's the certain clip where she's finding out that, you know, she died and transformed into someone else. So she's visiting the old lady. You remember that scene, right? Visiting the old lady, and she's telling her, like, you know, you died, but you're reborn again, and the cat saw something in you. And I feel like in my circumstance, like, God chose me to live another life in this form, in this way, so that, you know, I can still continue to share my light, share my love, share my story, and just be an advocate for other people out there who also battle with autoimmune diseases. Because it's not just me.
Yeah.
It's my family, too. You know, it runs on my mom's side. So, you know, if all of them were able to survive and still be standing here, you know, it gives me momentum to advocate for it and do the same thing for other people.
So what is it something about the autoimmune disease that you think people should know? Or what is something that you can give advice to people to help either find out that they have it or look out for?
Get screened early. Never ignore your health. I know that for sure. And I know it's very redundant to say, you know, oh, keep going, keep fighting, because you hear that all the time. I say keep doing what you love. Don't let it limit you from anything. There's certain times where I'm like dancing, and I feel so out of breath, or I feel like I'm not able to keep up with everybody because of what I have, and I'll think that in the back of my mind. But no, you can't think like that. You have to get outside your box. And there was a certain time where I almost broke down at the dance class, because as soon as I was up front and there was two other girls behind me and I had messed up, and I felt like as a lead, like, you know, you never mess up, but, you know, you're imperfect, and everything's not going to be perfect. But growing up in a military family, it just makes you feel like every error that you make, like, there's no exception for it. Like, you have to do better, like, you have to do good, and you have to succeed.
Yeah.
So I've always grown up on that mentality, and it's affected me, but it's for the better. And I'm still trying to find an easier way to handle it and cope it, to make it, you know, something that's not as harsh, so I won't be so hard on myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
I don't know, guys. Follow me on Instagram at Cortina77, Cortina. That's my middle name, by the way. Everybody gets so confused by my name. Like, my first name is Jazmin, but I initially go by Cortina. So, Jazmin Cortina, there you go.